Dear Diary, every Saturday for the last 2 months, Marie has been taking me and the kids over the Andrew to browse for art supplies. 1 week at Michael's, 1 week at Canadian Tire, even once at Best Buy. I love my wife, but I hate big box stores. I wish there was somewhere I could go nearby to grab a nice craft beer or a burnt bean coffee and just sit and wait for Marie to buy her cross-stitch patterns and balsa wood and googly eyes. Big Boss John tells me that Luke Lumber Mills is now the largest single-site employer in the Georgian Bay area. Spurred on by the demand from the River Park and the Wood Vision factory, we've seen our company grow significantly. With the growth of Makwasaugen overall, though, it's getting harder and harder for new arrivals to find quality jobs. We left Toronto because of the lack of quality jobs. I'd hate for that to happen here, too. Somebody needs to do something. Hello world and welcome back. I am Karhu, the Great Bear of the North, and this is Makwasaugen in City Skylines, but as I've said before, you are the smartest audience on YouTube, you already know this. And a couple things that I did off camera. One, we have a taxi company. It's not much, but I don't want you to think that I'm hiding anything from you, because I'm not. So, we have a taxi company. Two, commenter Caesar suggested that we have another pedestrian bridge in the Makwasaugen River Park in order to get some foot traffic off of the Belmont Bridge. And I must say, I placed this maybe 3 real minutes ago. It's already taking a lot of traffic off the Belmont. In fact, there's 4, 5 non-vehicular routes, trips going across the Belmont Bridge now. So, overall, I think that's a great suggestion. Thank you very much, Caesar, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Now, in terms of today, we're going to be doing some things. One, this farming area. We're finally going to start building some things up here. And where are they going to sell their goods? We're going to build a farmer's market right in here. And we're going to expand our residential zones here, maybe add some more warehouses up here, and possibly even a library. So it's going to be a lot of things. Actually, you know what? Let's start with the library because we're already here. I've noticed, we have 5,308 people in this town. And we don't have a library anywhere. Anywhere. Not one. So, let's build it right here because I do think that this is just an absolute great road depth. For this, it's going to be right near a future school, which is going to be awesome. So I think all things considered, this is going to be a great location for it. But I don't like that setback. So we're just going to slide this up here, just so that the steps are on where the sidewalk would go. And this looks great, except for the fact that we now have parking spots on the road, which I don't like. So we're just going to go into Bob. Boom. Get rid of those parking spaces. Boom, and already, bing, 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 you hear the houses down here upgrading. Already, nearly immediately, bing, we have an upgrade. But where are people going to park, right? This isn't a great area for parking. In fact, the entire city isn't a particularly great area for parking. But let's see if we can't change that. If we build a road like this is gross, right? Because it completely changes this intersection, completely changes that intersection. So let's instead, let's just see how that was, that was this node right here. So instead, let's just go up like this, and then see if we can't change just this interior section. And we're going to do that by adding 2 new nodes using the node controller. And then we're just going to replace, let's get out of the node controller, we're going to replace just that middle chunk with this parking lot. And that looks pretty stupid. I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty dumb. But I believe with node controller, we can kind of change that. Oh no, we can't change how dumb this looks. Oh yeah, there we can. There we go. So we can kind of widen that out. It's still not great because of some of the height differences But if we drop that down, there we go. This sort of looks fine. It's not great. It's not great. But if we were to just rotate that out this way a little bit, there we go. I think this is as good as we are going to get for this parking lot. I'm also not entirely convinced that it needs to go all the way through. Let's just see what that looks like without it. I think this actually looks better. I think it looks better if we just go like that. And there's so much tearing in the views into the Underdark. Or the Upside Down, whatever you want to call it. But I'm a D&D guy, so I'm going to call it the Underdark. There we go. We're just going to drop the height just a little bit. Fantastic. So we can have people that are walking along this back entry and can join the parking lot, but we also have the people that are coming along this main street and they can enter it from there. Fantastic. This is good. I like this. Now we just need to place parking spots. There we go. We have our public library parking lot, and I'm thinking that we need just a couple of trees, just to flank the entrance, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, gravitas or something like this. And I'm thinking, because we already have 2 trees in the back of the library, we might as well just copy those. So those 2 trees are Norway maples. Those are Norway maples. So if we go into here, and this is something that I just realized, this is alphabetical. Yeah, this is alphabetical. P, L, L. I mean, I could just go in through the find it and go for Norway maple, but for some reason I wanted to do it this way. Just because it's something that I just found out that was actually a thing. So let's just get some Norway maples right there. And you know what? We might as well just get another Norway maple right there, just to connect things. And fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you know what? You know what we also need? Let's get some Norway maples on this side, just to kind of, I was going to say spruce things up, but that's a different kind of tree entirely. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our very first public library in Makwasaugen, complete with parking lot and complete with foliage that just kind of serves to break up the really weird sloping that we have on the back here. It's operating normally, even though it is a Sunday. Interesting, but everything works. This is lovely. People have already dramatically increased their housing levels down here. Yeah, all we need to do is, well, we need to increase the value of the land for that. Increase the value of the land. So we're probably going to need to increase some more services later on, but hopefully the additional park up here will add that. So there we go. Part 1 of our episode done. Check. Boom. Now with the first part of our episode today done, let's add in some residential. And I'm pretty much going to be doing the exact same thing up here that I did down here, so I don't think you necessarily need to see that, but here we go. As I'm figuring out how to bridge this avenue, I come to a little bit of a conundrum. Because as much as I would love to keep it, just level with the ground here, I note that this is an extremely low height bridge. So we're definitely going to need to change some things. Most notably the height. Okay, so this is a car. So in terms of the height, this certainly looks fine. But is it fine? I don't know. Especially because we have this lamppost right through here. According to Canadian regulations, all you need is 5 meters. That is a decent size for a bridge, that is a decent height for a bridge, but whether or not that actually works in terms of city skylines, I don't know. Okay, oh good, we have a truck. Boom. Wait, that's plenty of room for a truck. That is plenty of room. So you know what? I'm just gonna ignore that lamppost. And we're just going to be okay. Because this is fine. That is plenty of good height. So yeah, we're actually pretty good. There we have the current expansion. I've still done the same checkerboard pattern that I did last time in order to make sure that the lots are actually the size that I want them to be. And if you notice, right along this train track, I haven't zoned in that area because I do have some plans for that. There might be some like smaller commercial, there might be some kind of a warehousey thing, but we'll get to that when it is time. For now, all you need to know is that we will hopefully break 6,000 people by the end of this episode, 6,500 people rather, by the end of this episode, so we can claim that we are indeed a big town and start to expand our buildable area. But as these guys come in, as these communities come in, let's move over to the farm. Specifically, and this has been a name reveal that I've been waiting a long time for, specifically Sweetness Farms. So, Mangs, this is definitely for you. And if you'll note that it's already kind of been pre-plotted for us. We already have zones, right? We have, like, here's a little chunk, here's a chunk, and there's entrances all along here. So what I'm just going to do is, for each of these, this is, let's turn off angle, but this is how we're going to access each of these individual plots. We'll probably have to rebuild some of the walls as we go, but I'm hoping that we can honor this pre-existing lot subdivision as much as we can. And if you know, this area right here, this is the flattest area. So this is where we're going to put things like the bakeries, the actual production areas, because everything else in our farms will slope with the terrain and it will look beautiful. But this is where we're going to put the farming. Because otherwise, if we were to put the bakeries rather up here, things would look really, really strange. Also, there's kind of like this ridge on the top, and I don't know if I particularly like that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to start building some entrances off here, and then these areas will be connected to this central area. I think that's how this is going to work. But first, let's build just this road up here so you guys can sort of see what I mean. So if we have these roads up here, and there's no road, or there's no gap along the road to connect to this plot. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to use the node tools, and we're actually going to carve our own chunks. Right? Boom. And then we're just going to drive the road right through there, and hopefully this will work, and it'll be straight. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Okay, so we have the structure of basically our first farming zone. And I'm starting to think that we can just put a row of trees in there later on if we want to. But in order to start this farm, much like we started with the lumber mill, with Luke Mill's lumber, we do need just a basic house. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to slide it in here, but we're going to start by adding the core zone right here. And this is the farm main building for, yes, Sweetness Farms. And let's immediately turn on the policies of improved logistics and advanced automation, just because I think those are absolute necessities. And we're just going to slide this back, so it's just kind of in that little, like, valley kind of a thing there. Nice, we can always add some trees later. In fact, when I say we can, I mean we will add some trees later. But let's connect this out to the road. There we go. So they've got like a little circular driveway there. We can put some silos there a little bit later on. But we'll definitely have some bakeries in here. Lovely. Now that we have that, we can start placing some crop fields. Now, here's the thing. I mean, first of all, the crop fields are way too long to go in here. We're actually going to put cows in there. But the crop fields are... they don't necessarily work for a Canadian climate. It's simply too cold for crops to really make a lot of sense. So instead... Oh, crop fields don't... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's why. It went to greenhouse. So let's turn on cotton, or let's turn on corn. Actually, we don't have a lot of corn. We generally will have wheat. And this is the kind of thing that Canadian farms will have. In here, we're going to try to subdivide this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, here, let's just do this way. This is 20 units, so 10 units is going to be right there. Yeah, that's a much easier way to subdivide that. We're just going to go along here, and we're going to place a single road. And we do still have tree anarchy on, so the trees shouldn't go away. Fantastic. And then in here, this is where we're going to place our cattle. There we go. But we do have our fields. These are going to be cows. But let's just continue this, and I believe it's just ruined wall. Oh, there we go. Ruin walls, castle walls 2. And we're just going to bring this right back. Turn again off the angle. I do not want it to snap to anything. Thank you very much. Just going to bring that there. And then this right up there. And then just slide that bit over there, and then slide this intersection, this junction right there. And it looks like the cow pasture is built right into the walls. And I like that aesthetic. In fact, this is just going to come out here just a little bit more, as will this. Bam. And we've maintained the tree line, we've maintained the walls, but we've actually built this little cow pasture. And yes, we do need to deal with the water, but before we do that, let's get all of these slopes lined up so that the roads actually stay functional. Fantastic. But it does appear that we need water, so let's get that dealt with. There we go. We have our electricity hooked up, we have our water hooked up, and we are starting to now actually export some grains, some crops, which is great, but we need some crops for the raw materials for these cows. In fact, we're going to put Highland cows just because I think they look a little bit cooler. But we need somewhere for all these trucks to store this material, because quite frankly, they're just driving it out of town. So let's get some storage silos. I think getting some silos would totally make sense just in along here. So let's just bring out this road. There we go. Just along the side of this. And let's just drop in. Let's drop in. I know what we can do. We will start by adding them there. We've actually placed 2, but we're going to drop 1 in right on the edge like that. And then 1 is going to be like this. In fact, you know what? We'll just swing it around like that. There we go. And I think all of those 3 should work. They should be functional. There we go. But will this actually be functional? That is a very good question, Karu, and the answer is I don't know. I don't actually know. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, let's go back to... Yes! People are moving in. This is great. Nobody on this side. Oh yeah, we do have some people on this side. Oh dears, look at all those trucks that are coming in to give grain. to these silos. All of those people are just dropping off grain for these silos. Oh, that's going to be some massive traffic jams. Not pleased with that, but Oh dears. Also, there appears to be some hopping around here, so let's slope that, see if we can't get rid of the hopping. There's a lot of hopping. Let's see if this Soapy's truck will do it. Yep, okay. Does that get rid of it? This is very strange. Like they're doing this weird stutter stop thing. Huh. Maybe if I were to bring this back, no, we can't even do that. But what if I were to, just to expand the angle of this curve? Would that be better? There we go, let's see if this fixes it. Yep, that appears to have fixed all of the issues there. Except for all of these guys coming in and creating massive traffic. But that's okay, once... Oh, this is painful. But once these silos are filled in, which they are doing very, very slowly, we won't be importing any more of these goods. At least, I hope. Yeah. But hey, at least we're creating animal products, which is good. We have almost the number of workers we need to upgrade this to the next level, but we also are getting there in terms of the produced resources, which once this happens, then we can start to get our bakeries and whatnot. Fantastic. So, while that's happening, let's just fill in some more of these. Fantastic. We're getting more people to move in, which is spiking industrial demand, which means more people are going to move here so we can expand the farms, which means we can sell more goods. So let's start by building this farmer's market area that I wanted to build. And this is the first area, I mean, because we've already kind of built out this using Rico and we've plopped rather than growed a lot of these areas, we might as well continue that same kind of approach with this farmer's market. So let's just get this angle out here. There we go, 90 and 6 units, because that's going to be 3, 6. This is going to be good. And then this is also going to come out 90, that'll be 6. And then this should be a nice square. Ew, sort of. It's almost there. But let's actually turn this into... You know what, why don't we just expand the big box store? And just do something like this. Because if we are just going to be dropping these in ourselves, then we don't really need to worry about them growing. Because as soon as we place them, I'm just going to mark them historical, and they're going to stay that way. So let's go into... Where is it? Commercial, eco. Good. And no ruin. But let's just see what we've got. We've got eco-commercial 1 by 1. I think we are going to have a few of those. I do like that. Commercial 1 by 1 number 2. Yeah. In fact, you know what? Let's start, before we even start placing the buildings, let's get pathways. Let's get gravel path, because that seems to me like what it would be in a farmer's market. Let's just drop that down right there. And let's get something right along there. Fantastic. That way people can, like, browse and go across like this. Good. Good. So now we can start to place these down. Editor Karhu here. I know that I haven't shown you the process of how I build a lot, especially in terms of the content that I cut, but here's the process of how I actually built this entire farmer's market, including the building choice, and then the arrangement, and then the final little finicky details of certain things. If you like this kind of sped up time-lapse footage, by all means, please let me know in the comments section below. I have all this footage that I've recorded, and I can totally show it to you, including giving you my thoughts after the fact. Once everything is said and done, I will happily do this for you. But in some other videos that I've done, some people have said that they don't particularly like it. It makes them dizzy or something like this. And I respect that. I totally respect that. So the choice is yours. Do you want to see more of this time-lapse footage in future videos? If you want it to stay, leave a comment in the section below saying why. If you don't want it to stay, leave a comment in the comment section below saying why. Because you all have a stake in this game, and I want your voice to be heard one way or the other. And you know what? There's not a lot going here. It's just some farmers markets. It's really crunchy. It's really granola. There's shipping containers. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But you know what? I like this. This works for me. People are just walking up and down these aisles. They're taking a look at produce that's available, all of which is sourced locally. And you know what? Like, I'm not like a super crunchy organic guy. I'm not. I'm just not. I've got nothing against it. But honestly, this little aesthetic here, maybe once we add in some trees, just right in there. Oh, yeah. Maybe we get some more trees up in here. Get some trees just here, just to kind of separate this aesthetically a little bit more. And you know what? I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. I'm definitely going to move this over a little bit. Come on. There we go. Just so we can get a little bit more foliage in here. Turn off that. There we go. It looks like we're going to need to... Space already occupied. What do you mean? Okay, there we go. Yes! No, this is great. Let's see if we can't get a tree right in the middle of that. Aw, yeah. We can definitely get a tree in here, because we do have a little bit of space. Can't get too large of a tree in there, but we can definitely get some trees. Yeah, no, this is cool. This is cool. I'm very much enjoying this. Very much enjoying this. And you know what I'm thinking? Because the pathway goes right up here, I initially said that I wasn't going to connect the Makwasaugen River pathways to the big box stores, and I'm not. I'm connecting them too. And I don't know why that white is flashing. I apologize to those of you that might have any kind of sensitivity issues. I've been racking my brain for why that's a thing, but I can't quite figure it out. There we go. We're just going to then drop this down here. And if we slide this, or if we do something like that, we can actually drop that down. Yes! And everything connects. In fact, let's get a little bit of a picnicky area off here. Let's go with the gravel. Like, I don't know why it constantly defaults to -2 anytime that I'm placing a path. There we go. Let's snap off road length, just like this. And then actually, if we were to build the path here, instead of doing that, if we go with this path, because like I said in the previous episode, this path automatically levels. So if we were to do this, we're actually kind of creating this like plateau area. And then if we bring this road down to here, yes! There we go. And then from here we can start to add our little picnic benches. And this is just going to be absolutely delightful. Yes, it's near the highway. That's a little bit awkward, not gonna lie. Also, why it's dropping down into the terrain, I don't know. But I'm just gonna get this. Fantastic. You know, we might as well get some down here as well. And those are way too high. Let's drop some of these down. So they're actually on the terrain. There we go. Same with this one. And this one as well. And that's okay, because now as soon as we start getting some trees in here, this really starts to come alive. There we go. There we go. It's not much. It's not much, but you know what? I think this is the kind of place that a lot of people here that would visit a farmer's market like this, I think they'd enjoy. I think they would really enjoy this kind of a picnic area. If you are the kind of person that would enjoy going to a farmer's market, and everybody should enjoy going to a farmer's market for many reasons. One, generally what I've seen, the prices are actually comparable to large grocery stores. Two, you're supporting local independent businesses. You're not paying a whole bunch of middle people in order to profit, right? Instead of, like, the produce is grown at the farm and then it goes to a distributor, and then the distributor or wholesaler or whatever sells it to the grocery store. Like, there's so many different levels and people are always profiting off the top. But if you can buy directly from the farmers themselves, yes, this is what life is like. So you're not only going against capitalism, which, honestly, who really likes true capitalism? But you also, I find that a lot of places that have farmers markets, they're nice places to be. They're just aesthetically pleasing places. So, I think that's what we're doing here. And you know what? I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords. But other than that, I'm very pleased with how this is working. Let's get some ground foliage in here. There we go, just kind of filling that in a little bit. Don't know why we can't get anything here, but there we go. Some ground foliage here. Nope, ground foliage isn't working. Oh, because I guess it's too close to the path. I guess when it levels at the I guess when it levels at the path, it also restricts the plant growth. But anyways, there we go. I think we do need a fence, though. I think we need a fence just along the edge here, because we don't want people just tumbling down this cliff. Fences? No. I think a nature reserve fence or a farm fence makes the most sense. So let's just get the fence just right along there. And then we're going to, turn off angle snap. Just going to connect it right to the underside of that. And then we're just going to build the fence, I'll say right up to there. Yo, this is cool. This is cool. I mean, first of all, the fact that so many people seem to be using this new connection, that's amazing. In fact, I kind of want to know. Look at all the people! Look at all the people that are now walking to the big box stores as a result. This has taken, like, people are walking there from all the way here. Like, that's a long walk just to get to a big box store. Where are they going specifically? Some people are going to Michael's. Some people are going to get their car from the parking lot. But a lot of people are going to this little farmer's market, which I'm proud of. I'm proud of this. Oh, right. We have to historicize all of these buildings. Oh boy. Hopefully I don't miss any. There we go. We got them all. But I think this farmer's market really balances out this big box store area. It's not as oppressive. It's not as crass commercial. It's aesthetic. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. I'm pleased with that. And traffic is still like 90%, which is great. Uh-oh. You seem to be missing a tree. There we go. We have refound the tree. Alright, Sweetness Farms has now leveled up, so we can add in the flour mill. Because the flour mill will take the crops, turn it into flour, and then we can build a bakery, which takes the animal products, the crops, and the flour, and turns it into donuts for Tim Hortons. So, as a Canadian, we must do this. But, oh, that's forestry, and that's why that looks so weird. And this needs to be on a fairly level area, so we're actually going to... Where's the rural roads? There we go. Let's just build this out here, turn on angle snap, because I believe this is one of the flatter areas that we have in the entire farm. So this is a good place, at least this is a place that makes sense for me to build a bakery. So we're just going to build this right there. Fantastic. In fact, you know what? We might as well build two. Because then we can really churn out the flour. And do those look too close? Yeah, those are too close. So let's slide that out there. Like, in fact, this one is actually over top of the other one's parking. So let's get rid of that. There we go. And therefore we have the flour, we have... Oh, this is great. But we do have multiple problems. One, it doesn't have water. Bing. Now you have water. The other problem is that it doesn't have the raw materials available. So, let's just build some raw materials right along here. Because to me, this is exactly where they would be. Right? You've got the towers right here, because this is where you can store farming industry raw materials. I believe it just stores grain, which these use, or it stores crops rather, so it stores the crops here, the crops get turned into flour here, and then they go over to a bakery, which we're probably going to put over here, and to turn into lovely, lovely donuts. But we do have enough jobs for 405 workers. This is great. Yes, our profit was really, really low for a bit, but that's just because we are importing so many goods. Once things stabilize, it should be okay, because we're currently producing 21 tons of crops. Actually, we might need even more crops. Yeah. Let's fill in even more. This Sweetness Farms is an absolutely massive undertaking. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, these are just too hilly for greenhouses. We just can't do it. It just doesn't make sense. We're just going to copy this over, and we're just going to place one right. You know what? Nope. You know what? We're not going to add one there. I don't know what I'm going to do with these areas. Maybe I'll fill them in with trees or something like this. But actually, how do they look with trees? Because, like, the way that I see Sweetness Farms is that it is a conglomeration of a bunch of different smaller farming areas. In fact, what we could do... this is something that I hadn't thought of, but maybe we could do that. We could turn these into like little housing areas. Not for like masses of workers, but the people that own these individual farms. Maybe if we extended this out this way, we could get a 2x2 house up here. Do they even have electricity? Yes, the electricity does spread across farm fields, which is great. There we go. It's still very much a grid, but it is a better grid now than it was before, I think. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm very cool with this. Good, 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 good. I actually want to add just a... Actually, you know what? A fence. A farm fence is probably what makes the most sense there. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't turn off the ability for people to actually get there. Yeah, excellent. So, it's very close for us to actually reach even the next level of Sweetness Farms. Yeah, this is producing quite a bit of money for our community. It's producing a lot of jobs for our community. So everything is increasing dramatically, which is great. But if we want to increase it even more, let's build a donut shop, or donut factory. And unfortunately, when I first placed this industrial road down here, I didn't leave quite enough room on the north side to add in this donut building. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to place it on the south side, even though it would have been really cool over there. But we will need to also add some warehouses, which thankfully will fit in perfectly in this area. Just like that. Oops, let's just make that work right there. Fantastic. Drop everything down so that everything is height adjusted. Awesome. So, the donut shop, the donut factory, the bakery, requires animal products, crops, and flour. We're just going to crank up the production rate. So this is going to be animal products. This is going to be flour, because crops actually require barns or silos. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to get the silos, because to me, the silos just make a lot more sense than the small barns. Although I will be adding some barns later on once we customize the build a little bit more. And what's great is, since we have Anarchy on, we can just place the silos right in the actual donut shop. We can just put it right over. And to me, that's cool. Like, it just goes right in the lot. I love that. So these... Yeah, oh, not enough water. Right. Where is our... Yeah, we don't have any water down here. Okay. So let's do that, and then connect to this. And all of these should now be functioning. We're again going to get a massive influx. That's the opposite of exodus. Influx. A massive influx of trucks as we start to fill up the silos and the warehouses. But for now, things are looking good. And this will increase our jobs even further. Because this, again, 38 people work there, 19 there, 19 there. So it's... Oh, and fantastic. Sweetness Farms has already reached level 3. So we can build a lemonade factory, a milking parlor, and medium crop fields and medium fruit fields. So, I've never had a farm this big. What does a milking parlor? Designed to maximize the production of milk by mechanizing and streaming the milking process. That's awesome. But we do have another specialized factory. No, not a printing press. A lemonade factory, which takes crops and glass. Okay, we don't have any glass production. Yeah, this is what I mean by the massive influx of trucks just filling up these warehouses. But this is okay. This is okay. We planned for this. We know this. It's temporary. I'm not too concerned. But all of these jobs need to be filled. So let's continue to absolutely, I was going to say explode the population, but I like these people. I don't want them to explode. So we just need to dramatically increase the population. And yes, some of these people, their housing is right next to the railroad tracks. But this happens in Ontario quite a bit. I'm sure it happens in your communities as well. Some people just live nearer to the tracks. But there we go. This is great. This area is entirely... Oh! Now it's entirely filled in. Awesome. Which means it's tree time, baby. For now, things are looking really good. Really, really good. Just want to wait to see if we can beat 6,500. I don't think we're going to get there. I do still hear the pling, 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 pling of other places leveling up, but I don't think we're going to get there quite today. I think filling in this area is what we're going to need to do in order to get 6,500. So that might be our next episode, but we did add in, 600 people today? 300 people? Actually, let's just see how many people moved into this neighborhood. Let's just create a new one. There we go. And I'm sure once we add a train station, things up here are going to be even bigger. In fact, I hope we left room for a train station. I'm not sure we did. That's not good. Well, maybe we put the train station here then. But anyways, in this Linden Hills, 663 people moved in. And counting. Now this is good because a lot of these are still very much level 1 houses because we just haven't had time for more people to come in and be educated. And one of the things I've noticed, at least in terms of the recent development, is a lot of people, a lot of houses, when they grow up, when they level up, they become duplexes. So that will double the number of people that live in here once we just educate more citizens. Because that appears to be the main issue here. This is good. I personally think that the farmer's market is probably one of my favorite things that I've built. I really enjoy this. But we've done quite a bit today. We've got the farmer's market. We've got an additional 712 people in the neighborhood currently known as Linden Hills, even though that will certainly change. We've got a donut shop, or donut bakery, which is wonderful. In fact, we need even more crops because we don't have enough. And we've also added the 3-star already Sweetness Farms, which will only expand further. And you know what? Traffic doesn't seem to be too bad. It's piling up a little bit because of this. So I'm wondering, because very few people seem to be coming in or out of here. I'm wondering if we don't just turn off that traffic light. It doesn't seem to be that bad, actually. It doesn't seem to be that bad. But as we grow, we're definitely going to need to look at traffic solutions more and more. In fact, over the next couple of episodes, I think we might need to start figuring out exactly how a public transit network might work. Which seems weird for a community of this size, but at the same time, there are much smaller communities in Ontario that do have some form of public transit. But I'm Carher, the Great Bear of the North. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, and you keep coming back, so I certainly hope you do like what you see, please please subscribe, please comment, let me know what you think, and most importantly, have a fantastic day. Have an absolutely fantastic day because you deserve it, because you're wonderful human beings, and you deserve good things in your life. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time in Makwasaugen. Bye, everybody.